Alright, so we're back with another breeding update video. I decided to make another update video on the breeding season due to the amount of activity the last video got. It seems like a lot of people are liking the update videos, so I figured why not make another one. So it's been about a month since I posted that one, and a little bit of things have changed. A lot of birds have grown up. There's some birds that have went to local races, some birds that went to one Loft races since then. So I'm gonna flip this camera around. We're gonna jump in the other section. We're gonna take a look at some of the pairs over there, some of the pairs over here. I'll show you the current youngsters, and I'll discuss a little more detail about the upcoming season and where these birds are going to be going. So let's jump on over there and get to it. Okay, so it's been about a month since I've shown my breeders and my breeding situation. So you will notice there's a few pairs locked up here. There's two here, there's two over here. Reason being is these birds are all incubating eggs currently. All of the birds that are open box, except for this one I didn't lock up yet, they have a youngster in the nest. The reason that I do this is it's a lot easier for me to maintain the loft this way, and it's a lot easier to prevent conflicts between the pairs of birds. Not that there's many conflicts now anyway, because the birds really know what they have to do. They've already had a round or two of youngsters, but this just makes a lot easier for me to maintain the birds. I keep them in here for a few weeks, let them incubate their youngsters, well, the eggs rather, and then I'll let them out individually. The birds that have at least one youngster in a nest have full access of the loft. So let's jump on over here to the first pair. I showed you guys all of these birds in the last video, but I'll run through them quick for those of you that are new here. This is a Herman Custer's crossed with some of the John Brunel bloodline from Belgium, this hen. The cock is of the same, pretty much of the same blood. I got a few of these out already. There's a youngster in here. Let's see if we can get her to move. Let's take him out and take a look. Yeah, this guy hatched a few days ago. He's looking pretty good. So there's one here. I had a few. I had to float a few from this pair, actually. If you remember from the first video, they're gonna raise that one. Down here we have the ironclads. Oh, this is a son of ironclad on the right. We have a nice splash hen. It's of some Gannus blood. They have eggs. Down here is my Huskin Van Reel hen with a grandson of ironclad, which is that guy there. She's incubating some eggs. That'll be my last round from these. I'm not sure what I'm doing with them yet, but they did raise a couple of nice youngsters, and those are already gone. Up over here, we got two nice little blues. These are going to a local race. These are actually out of a pair of birds that I have on this side. The funny story is that I had these birds paired up. These were a random pair of birds I selected from my flying team. I ended up floating eggs from the pair that I just showed you up here to those birds. And then I ended up taking their eggs and floating them to this pair, because this was the pair that the hen could not produce any eggs for whatever reason. So I basically floated two pairs. Everything's good with them now. They're growing up good. Same thing over there. Moving down, we have some, this is some Wolverine with Marple. The hen's a granddaughter of Wolverine and Marple, and this bird is actually his mother is a daughter of Marple. She's on the other side. And his father is a half-brother of Thomas 6. So he's got a youngster in here. This one hatched. This guy's pretty aggressive, so I'm not even going to bother pulling this one out. This one hatched a few days ago. Hopefully it turns out to be a decent bird. I already raised one from this pair. That bird's already out. Down here we have my granddaughter of Thomas 6. Mix and Silt Orpheus, as well as Mike has a good one. This bird's made it to a Leo Harmon's portion on 11 cock. She's incubating 1 egg currently. Probably gonna do another round out of these, hopefully. Might stock a few of them. I really like these birds. Up here on the top, this is a bird out of New Olympiad line. Some Bolt in there, some Kittle as well. They have one youngster here. This guy just hatched a few days ago. I actually just found out today. I didn't realize. Just one over there. That's gonna go somewhere, I'm not sure yet. Down here we have the Greek hen, Baldwin Tilson cock. They got 1 egg in there. So I already put out, I have one of these youngsters at the Apple Cup, also one of these at the Apple Cup. I have 2 more of these at a local race. Down here we have the grandson of Picasso, double grandson of Picasso. And this is some Baldwin Tilson stuff. Really small little hen. They're on another set of good eggs. Hopefully everything works out. I do have their youngsters right here. These are the only youngsters in this section that are on the floor right now. Nice little splashes. You guys can look. If I can grab them, they're a little crazy, these birds. So here's one really small pigeons. I knew these were going to be small, but it is what it is. I'm not sure where I'm going to send these. These are going to definitely go to some one Loft race, but haven't decided where yet. I vaccinated these over the weekend, but they should be real nice pigeons. I've never flown pigeons that were this small before, and I'm curious to see how they do. I'm thinking these will be better in like a sprint race series, so I'm gonna see where I could send these. So as far as this section, that's pretty much everything wrapped up. I had a lot of birds in here. I did get all those out. Those are going to be going to a local band race. We'll be discussing that later in the future. But I moved a lot of birds out of here. Like I said before, you've seen all these nests were pretty much full of youngsters. All those birds are gone. They're in their new loft now. Only thing that's left here is these OLR birds. There's a couple more that are going to go to local races in here, and the rest will be for the OLRs. Any youngsters that you see in these nests are pretty much all for the OLRs. So let's jump on over here, and we'll give you another look at what's going on over there. All right, so on this side, we have the Baldwin Tilson birds up in here. They actually have 2 youngsters. I just took them out of the box today to start weaning them. Here's a couple of them right now. This one is, this is a Baldwin Tilson youngster right here. That's one of them. This bird is one of the hens down here. We'll get to that in just a minute. That's the nest mate as well. There's one behind the feed barrel. They're a little nervous because they just came out of the nest. Just trying to get them familiar with eating feed and drinking water on their own. You'll notice I have my plastic water over there. Just basically let them run around the floor for a little bit. These birds have not yet been vaccinated. Hopefully I'll vaccinate them tomorrow and let them sit in the loft for 14 days. These 2 here are going to the Apple Cup. This one and its nest mate, which is back there. Not sure where those are going yet. Oh, here it comes. So those are the Baldwin Tilson birds. Down here, a little backstory on this pair of birds. This is an older pair of race birds from one of my last race teams. I decided to put them together. I figured if my plan backfires, I can always use them as pumpers, and that's exactly what I did. So the hen is up here, and the cock is out in the aviary. That white flake. So I put that pair together in hopes to breed something out of them, just to test locally. The eggs were good and something happened. They ended up not sitting on them. They got cold, they died, whatever the case may be. So what I decided to do, this hen right here, this is my Apple Cup hen. She completed the season at she completed the series at Apple Cup last season. So I decided to breed her. The cock that I had her paired with, unfortunately, I'm not sure what happened with him. He ended up dying on me one day. So luckily enough, I bred one youngster while he was still alive. That bird is already at the Apple Cup. And then they had 2 fertile eggs in this nest, which ended up being those 2 birds right there. So what I did was I took the eggs and I floated them to this pair. And they did perfectly fine. They raised those birds on their own. So now, a little trick for the beginners. What I'm doing now is I'm breeding this hen with one of my Florida Pigeon Derby birds. So this cock right here is my old Grizzle strain that most of you know, that I've already talked about in a few other videos. For those of you that don't, that's one of my long distance Grizzles that I used to compete here with locally. So I mated these 2 birds together, but my dilemma is I wanted to mate this cock with the bird that won money at Texas Dash for Cash. So, which is this bird right here. This bird, I was 90% sure that this was a hen. All of a sudden, the bird starts cooing, starts showing signs of being a cock. So definitely is not a hen. So now I have these paired up. The sister of that bird was supposed to be mated to this bird, but she's mated to my best kettle cock, which we'll get to in a little while. So what I'm going to do is mate the Texas Dash for Cash bird with this Apple Cup hen. So my theory here is these 2 birds already have a set of eggs. Obviously she's sitting on them. I checked them, they're fertile. So what I did was I took these 2 eggs out of my flying loft. These are birds that they just paired up, so the eggs are obviously gonna get thrown out. So I took these 2 dummy eggs basically, put them in the box. Now this box is the box of the pair I just showed you that floated these birds from this hen. So now these birds think that those are their eggs. So I have this hen sitting on these eggs. Obviously she's not right now, but she was just sitting on them. So what I'll do now is I'll take these eggs from here, throw those eggs out, float them. This hen will raise these babies, and then I'll have the Apple Cup hen mated with this bird, and I should be able to send youngsters out to Texas Dash for Cash just in time if all goes well. So that's a little egg floating trick. Maybe some of the beginner fanciers don't know, but stuff like this has kind of saved my season, doing stuff like this. Obviously I wouldn't have been able to have these youngsters if I didn't have this pair to foster them. So moving on, up here we have some Wolverine with some of the other blood I mentioned before, the John Brunel Herman Custers. She has a youngster here, but she also just laid some eggs, so I might float these. I don't know. This bird is going to a local race though. Over here is the hen that I was mentioning. This hen is a sister to the grizzle cock I just showed you in there, and this hen is mated to the best Kittle grandson. 2 of these are already at a local band race. The eggs, I'm not sure where these are going. These are probably going to go to Florida Pigeon Derby, I think. You know, if the eggs hatch and everything's good. I don't like to count eggs, but let's just say they hatch, everything's good. Probably going to go to Florida. So coming down, we have some other Baldwin Hill stuff. These 2, I had 1 round out of them, but the eggs were no good. These eggs seem to be good, so fingers crossed that they hatch, and I'm not sure where I would send these birds yet, but still got some time for that. So hopefully those go well. Down here on the bottom, I have the Hoosier Jansen, mated with the ironclad, inbred ironclad bird. I already sent a round of these out to a local fancier, which has all the rest of my birds, which I mentioned we'll be getting to later in the season. They have one egg. I think it's fertile. I haven't checked it yet. I was floating a youngster over here. Unfortunately, it didn't survive. I don't know what happened to it, whether they didn't feed it or whatnot. But they have one egg, so they're locked up. Over here, these birds are the ones I mentioned. These are floated from my pair over here. So I floated these birds here, and then I floated the pair that belongs in this box. Their birds are up there. So these youngsters are developing really nicely. These are also going to a band race. Looks like two nice blue bars. This one's pretty aggressive. You could see I started using these shredded cardboard mats, and they seem to be working well. I got these in a package that I ordered, and there was a whole bunch of them, so I said, you know what, let me try to use them. They're very absorbent, and they're breathable, so I've been putting them under the nest bowls, and you can see they seem to be doing their job. So those are going to a local race, and this pair here is the most expensive, I guess this is probably the most expensive pair of birds I own. And they have not produced me one single youngster this season. Unfortunately, they are being used to float eggs. So as I mentioned before, these birds are the parents of the bird in the middle there, which I mentioned was the Thomas 6 Marple bird. So that was the only bird I've ever gotten from this pair. So they laid one egg. I think they didn't lay them at the same time. They laid that one egg first, and then the hen wasn't sitting on the egg. So right away, obviously I wanted to save the egg. So I took the egg and I gave it to these. So they're currently floating, well, they're not really floating anymore. They're sitting on a youngster, this youngster right here. This bird is actually their grandchild. So they're fostering their grandchild. So this one, I'm not sure where this is gonna go yet. Should be a nice bird. It's kind of unfortunate that I haven't had anything from these birds yet, but I'm gonna keep trying. I did mention the same thing in the last video. I'm gonna keep trying with this pair. I don't care if it takes me all summer. I'm gonna get some youngsters out of them again. I did get the one youngster, so I don't see why it's not possible. The situation here is the cock is perfectly fine. He fertilizes every round. I've had it mated with the hen that I showed you on the other side, the granddaughter of Thomas 6. Perfectly fine. I really didn't get to test those birds out the way I wanted to. My plan was to send tons of these out to OLRs because, you know, this is the blood that's been doing well from what I've been researching and noticing in the OLRs. So it kind of sucks that it didn't work out. I couldn't get anything last year to send out. Luckily, I kept that one bird for stock, and I was able to breed out of him. So at least I'll get to test out his offspring. But as far as these birds, I'm gonna just keep trying and keep trying. What happens is they lay eggs, no problem. Everything's great, the birds are healthy. The eggs start developing, and within, I'd say 2 to 3 weeks, probably 3 weeks, the eggs just stop developing. I've already spoke to multiple people on this topic with this hen. Everybody's leaning towards the salmonella. I can assure you that these birds are vaccinated for salmonella yearly, so I don't see that being an issue. Obviously, the lofts are cleaned every day. The lofts are disinfected twice a week. You see how clean I keep it here, so I find it hard to believe that it would be salmonella. That being said, I've given the bird multiple supplements. I've tried a lot of stuff, so I don't know. But it is possible for them to have a youngster. It just doesn't work out right away, I guess. I'm just going to keep trying. That's all I can do, just keep trying. But yeah, that's what it looks like to float and foster youngsters with the $5,000 pair of pigeons. So that is the grandson of, actually no, that's a half brother of Thomas Six. This is a grandson of Marple. This is a daughter of Marple. So I will be breeding these until I get some youngsters out of them. And if anybody's interested in any youngsters out of these, once I do start getting them, if and when this summer sometime, let me know, because I'm definitely going to try to breed as many as I can. I really want to test them out, but it looks like I'm not going to be able to do that this season. I'm not going to have enough time. So that's pretty much the situation that we have going. If you did watch the last video, you understand how much of a disaster it kind of started out as, but everything is transitioning pretty well. I'm pretty excited. I still have some time to get birds out to the one lofts. Whatever hatches now is going to be going out. I have some pretty high hopes for these birds, the Boland Tilson birds. Hopefully they do some damage at a one loft race. Pretty sharp looking birds, pretty alert. I've never had these birds before, so I'm excited to see how they do. I really like them so far. Where I'm gonna send them, I don't know, probably somewhere in Texas. I definitely have my eyes on Texas Dash for cash. Gotta get some birds out there this season. Cuevas Classic as well. Definitely gotta get some birds out to Tony. I'm considering flying the Black Gold, Yanni Saints, and possibly Martinez Classic. If I have the numbers of birds to do it, I'll do it, but I'm not gonna just put birds anywhere. I'm gonna see what I have, which fits what race course, but definitely those races, Texas Dash and Texas Cuevas Classic. Florida Pigeon Derby as well, but that's later. Their acceptance period is probably going to be much later this season due to the fact that they still have birds there now. If you are interested in some young birds, like I mentioned in an earlier post I made, I will probably have some birds available. I can't keep all these birds. I want to test out as many birds as I can, but I'm probably going to have some leftovers that don't make the cut for the one loft races. When I say don't make the cut, that meaning they didn't make the deadline for when the race closes. So let me know where you guys send me your birds this season. Let me know if you want me to keep making these update videos. And that's pretty much going to sum this up. Just wanted to give you guys a look at the rest of the breeding season and what I'm doing now. Maybe you guys can absorb some knowledge, some new fanciers. I'm trying to throw some tricks in all the videos, a couple little tips. Also, I've been giving the birds the VitaKing Bio Pro. This is the third week I've been giving it to them now. They look pretty good with it. The droppings are very nice. I'll give you guys a look at the exact product I'm talking about in a second. I'll go out and grab that. So that's a bit of a new feed mix for me. The Bio Pro with the Cest Farm oregano oil. It's hard to tell what's really doing what to the birds because with so many things, the minerals, the grit, what's in the water, it's hard to tell exactly what is, doing what to the birds. They do look really good, I gotta say. There's no really water droppings. Kind of hard to tell, I kind of just clean, but there's a few examples. So here's my newly adapted feed regimen. I always used to give the birds brewer's yeast, garlic powder, and cod liver oil on the feed. I decided to try this stuff out. This is from Cest Farmer. This is the oregano oil. It's really good for gut health. I give about 10 milliliters, well, really 20 milliliters. Depends on how much you're mixing in the feed. I do this 3 times a week. I'll put this on the feed with this BioPro. This is available by VitaKing. Like I said, this is the 3rd week I'm using it. Pretty happy with the results so far. Really good for gut health, especially during breeding season. Like I mentioned, you can see the droppings of the youngsters. Very nice and round, nice and healthy. 3 days a week. I think it comes with a little teaspoon in there. Put some of this on there, mix it up. And that's been my feed regimen lately. I'm pretty happy with it. This stuff you can get at Foy's, and this is from VitaKing. That's gonna wrap this one up. I hope that you guys enjoyed. Leave a comment down below. Let me know where you send your birds. What one-off races you're interested in this season. I hope you enjoyed this video, and please like and subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and stay tuned for more. I will see you on the next one.